I have to say, this is very relaxing.
Yeah.
We've got the power of friendship.
I mean, that's Eve's thing, right?
That's right.
So what's the strongest
That's
ship?
that's going into his video, guys. Just that you know, we're gonna hear this shit on YouTube.
Primary. What's up, guys, and welcome back to another EVE Online video. Today we are diving into C5 wormhole space, running a Gnosis and Osprey fleet to complete combat sites. It's a pretty cool thing. To be fair, credit for the fleet and the fleet composition goes to Erst and the Fart fleets that he used to operate. RFC for this had been watching that and felt inspired. So the fit comes from Erst. We're not going to take undue credit here, but we very much enjoyed running it and wanted to share that. Basically, the joy of running these things is you can take a whole bunch of you into a C5 wormhole without worrying about mass and rolling wormholes and stuff, and you're able to take down a C5 and earn all the good blue loot that's there, whilst being a pretty formidable opponent for a hostile fleet to jump on as well. And the good stuff in this video, we're operating a missile Gnosis with 6 Osprey Logi. None of the ships are worth more than 100 million, and so our whole fleet comp here, I think we've got 17 people, and our whole fleet comp is about 1.5 billion, which is less than half the price of a single Marauder that you would use to run these sites ordinarily. So Marauder, 3 point something billion, and you're slightly exposed to gankers and the like. This one, 17 of you can fly with the same amount of mass through half the price, and you're a really formidable fleet when it comes to hostiles. We're going to pop in and out of comms for this video format, so I will jump in and let the FC explain how things are going to operate, and then we'll accelerate through the video, but then I may narrate over the top at parts where I think more detail is necessary. We're going to run one complete site at relatively high speed, and we'll get some fleet comms and stuff going in the meantime. So just sit back and enjoy.
We're going to warp in at 0, anchor up on ILO with O, anchor up me, XXX, anchor up, keep in range 500, fine. I will mark trigger as X. We're going to kill all enemies in 4 waves. Pretty much it's free to shoot everything. I will call primaries. Go ahead. Right. Everyone ready?
When we arrive, we do not move, only on your call, okay?
Yes. Okay, warping in now. Take warp. Don't move on land. We'll take a little aggro, more or less.
You said it wrongly, Ali. You should have said, that's it, take warp and hold your beer.
Okay.
Hold, do not move.
See what we are at. Okay. Feel free to move now. Set up logi chain. Broadcast for reps. Trigger will be awake. Center. Trigger is marked. Pre-shoot everything. Bam.
Okay, Logi pilots, drones on Le Monk. So launch drones and assist on Le Monk.
Okay, and from here, we've landed on site. Everyone's set up. The Logi chain is ready to go, and we start free firing on everything in this first wave. The FC has marked the trigger with an X. Everything else is free fire. So now we kind of work through this first wave, free firing on anything we want. No battleships in the first wave, so the FC doesn't need to broadcast targets because everything goes down pretty quickly. But we'll just slow it down again here quickly for some important advice.
Are we going to kill the towers?
Yes, kill everything. Except for
Except
the
the
X.
X. Yep.
Banal.
And now we just finish off the rest of the wave. So in the second wave, the frigate is the trigger, or sorry, one of the frigates is the trigger, which means you have to be a little bit more careful with your drones. So the drone bunny for the Logi needs to be paying particular attention, and everyone needs to be in control of their drones. Generally speaking, the order of attack here for the Gnosis is to take out the big stuff, take out the battleships first, and work your way down to the frigates. The drone bunny for the Ospreys can be taking out the frigates in the meantime, but make sure you leave one on grid.
Make sure your drones are not attacking random enemies. Set this. Where do you set that drones freely attack?
In the drone window, drone settings. When you hover on the drones in space, a little gear will show up and you can change it. Disable the auto attack.
So as you've just heard, there's always new things to learn in fleets. I actually had forgotten about that, and yeah, there are a bunch of people in our fleet who didn't know how to switch off focus fire on drones, so that's always good. Okay, wave 3. Bigger wave, scary amount of DPS in this one, but it's still all good. This time the battleships are the triggers, so one is marked with X, but we're still going to focus them first, get rid of the DPS, move over to the cruisers whilst we leave one battleship up, and then we'll take out the rest. So important note here, once you clear the final cruiser in Wave 3, the decloaked transmission array will spawn. This is the trigger for the drifter. If you're in one of these fleets, do not shoot that thing with anything. Don't let a drone shoot it, don't shoot it with your weapon system, don't target paint it, nothing. There's another whole wave to go, and if you spawn the drifter now, you and the whole fleet are in serious trouble. And for the final wave, of course, there is no trigger, it's the final wave, so free fire and everything, and get ready for the drifter spawn at the end of this wave.
Very nice. Okay, anchor up on me. Okay, 2 cycles of prop mod.
Prop mod on. 2 cycles.
So the drifter will either spawn on top or below the decloaked transmission array. What we are going to do is we're trying to get in orbit 500 or 1000. Like Fart Fleet is doing, like first part of the alphabet is doing 500, second half of the alphabet is doing 1000. I don't know if it makes any difference. What's the reason for? Maybe for a bigger fleet with bumping other ships.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the issue. The bumping issue is gonna be it, but I don't know.
But what we're going to do? Go ahead.
Which
Yep.
damage type for weapons? Sorry if you were about to go into that.
It's going to be Inferno first. Load Inferno, which is terminal damage. So once we are shooting the decloaked transmission relay, we are going to approach the drifter. Don't use your prop mod, just approach the drifter and orbit 500. So we need to apply scram and web and get into close orbit. If you're being targeted initially, try to get like in orbit directly at the range you're at right then, because otherwise you might get big alpha hit.
Alright, thanks FC. And with that, let's crank it back up to 250% and push through this drifter. Important note that FC made there about the damage type we've got loaded. For normal sleepers, damage type does not matter. For drifters, it very much does. So for the drifter spawn in C5, C6 wormholes, you want to be loaded thermal to get through the shield. And then when shield is down, you're trying to break the armor, you've got to swap to EM. Very important, otherwise you're going to be wasting so much DPS. The other thing was the mention of scram and webs. Webs are just to keep him in place. The scram, at 25% armor, the drifter will attempt to warp off. If you don't have any scram on him, he'll warp off to a celestial or a wormhole, and then you got to go find him and kill him over there. So get some scrams on him so that he stays in place through that 25% armor. And there we have it, guys. That's the site completed. Now these drifters, they hit like a truck, so your logi really needs to be on point. You'll have seen for a second there when one of my ults was getting aggroed. Straight through the tank, immediately capped out. You've got to put your broadcast in, and the logi need to get on you immediately, otherwise you're getting through your armor pretty quick. My logi were on point, so we were all good. But yeah, the drifter has the equivalent of 8 heavy newts. So a Gnosis is just instantly capped out, and all your multi-specs get turned off. So you need your logi to give you some cap back, so you can get them back on or back online and cycling while you're being targeted. So that's it, guys. That's the site running full as a fleet of Gnosis and Ospreys, as originally conceptualized by Erst. Great fun to run this as a fleet. If you want to come do it yourself, then hit us up in game. Disaster area, always recruiting, so we can do more of this with more people. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video and want to see more like this, please give it a thumbs up. I had to do a bit more editing on this one than I do normally, so really appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, you could hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel for more Wormhole content. And I've recently set up a new Discord for my YouTube community to interact. So head down to the description where you'll find a link to that. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.